This is the emergency broadcast system. The CDC is advising that you stay in your home.
We show up.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Carbon, and today we are here to talk about some Call of Duty news. And if you're into anything Call of Duty news and you want to get informed, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you guys are always up to date on Call of Duty news and gaming news for that matter. So why are we here today? Well, Treyarch has shared on Reddit some updates on when fans can expect some modes to return to Call of Duty Black Ops 4's Blackout mode alongside the debut of a new mode. So it looks like we are going to be getting two modes, one being new, one being used. So which one have we used before that's coming back? Well, it seems Ground War is coming back. It was introduced back in Spectre Rising update, which brought the 50 vs 50 limited time mode to the game for the very first time. And Treyarch has now stated on Reddit that Ground War will return on Tuesday, July 30th on all platforms. And there was no indication as to how long it will be the featured playlist. Personally, I hope they update 50 vs 50. When I was playing it, it always seemed like one team was very heavily stacked over another. It always seemed like if I was on the team that had like 20 people left, and the other team usually had like 3 or 4 left, and it was just a giant scramble of all these people to look for the remaining people. And if you're one of those last survivors, it's basically impossible to even try to win, but it never seemed to come down to like a very close game. And if it did, I'm sure it was like a very, very rare occasion. I just think Fortnite kind of did it right, and I'm sorry to bring it up, but I really do think that they did it right by dividing the circle with a straight line right down the middle, dividing each side. And then if you cross to the enemy's territory, they would kind of give an indication to the enemy that there is their enemy on their side. And vice versa. If one of them crossed into our side, we would know that somebody was on our side. And then it would be a true 50 versus 50 across the line. I think it'd be really cool. So we can only hope. But my guess is that it's just going to be dropping and it's going to be exactly the same. And in addition, at the start of Operation Apocalypse Z, Treyarch revealed a brand new mode was coming to Blackout. Do you guys remember when they were talking on that live stream? They said we were going to be getting a game that was sort of like multiplayer and the whole infected game mode, all right? And this game mode is going to be called Pandemic. And their blog post back in early June described the mode as an upcoming limited time mode that is planned to feature a large-scale fight to survive enemies and zombies. So like multiplayer's Infected, when players are eliminated, they return as zombies looking to add more numbers to their horde. Infected players can respawn all the way up until the final collapse, where the remaining squads must bunker down and outlast the pandemic. The last squad of survivors will win. And then in a Reddit comment responding to a fan's question on the mode, Treyarch has stated that Pandemic mode will become available in Blackout and Call of Duty Black Ops 4 in August with the launch of the second half of Operation Z, which should include a contraband stream in the black market. And with this update basically still focused around zombies, I can pretty much be sure that my hope on them removing zombies from Blackout is not going to be happening. Like, I would really like it to, but I think that the Alcatraz horde and all these other zombies are going to be remaining within Call of Duty, which kind of makes me also think that maybe that little lighting situation they gave us, that little bit of sunlight they have peeking through the clouds, I thought that was maybe a clue that it was going to be coming daylight soon, but what I think they really did was just kind of give us just a little bit more lighting from what people were complaining about, and that'll be the remaining lighting situation up until the next DLC. And now for our next bit of Call of Duty news, because this is Call of Duty news. He is basically a huge part of Call of Duty, and that is Jason Blundell. And Activision is denying reports that Jason Blundell was fired from Treyarch and says he continues to direct zombies. So yeah, Activision has denied the reports that Jason Blundell has been fired. The company sent out a statement to Charlie Intel denying reports that went up earlier that Jason Blundell left the studio after being a part of it for so many years. So here's the statement that Activision sent out. They said, while we typically don't comment on rumor as a personal matter, we feel it's important to address. Jason has not been fired. and in fact, he continues to direct the zombies experience for Black Ops 4. In addition, Jason, alongside a handful of developers, are working with Activision to develop new creative opportunities. So, Activision says in the statement that Blundell is working at Activision with a handful of developers, as well as for new creative opportunities at the publishing company. The company did not elaborate his exact role at Treyarch at this moment, but Jason Blundell was promoted to co-studio head of Treyarch in 2016 to serve on the leadership team of the studio alongside Mark Gordon and Dan Bunting. He is still at the studio, but it's not sure if he remains co-studio head. Jason Blundell has been with Treyarch Studio for years as one of the main leads of the studio's initiatives in the zombies mode. Leading into Call of Duty Black Ops 3 in 2015, Blundell was tasked with being a campaign director and zombies director, and worked as the lead of both of the modes for that of the 2015 Black Ops 3 title. And Black Ops 3 was one of the best-selling games on current generation consoles. But the game's campaign was heavily criticized by the fans for lack of narrative storytelling that previous Call of Duty Black Ops games had. Now, moving past 2015, as the team entered development for 2018's Call of Duty Black Ops 4, our current game, Treyarch promoted Jason Blundell to co-studio head to serve alongside Mark Gordon and Dan Bunting to lead the studio, and Mark Lemieux was the studio head, but was then promoted to chairman of the studio. So Jason had a lot to do with zombies, especially with Black Ops 4, and when Black Ops 4 launched as the most ambitious Call of Duty title in terms of zombies content, with 4 new maps available on day 1 on freaking launch day, the game, however, had a messy launch for zombies mode. If you guys remember, it had a lot of blue screens and constant crashing on the PlayStation 4 for at least a month before the studio was able to fix a lot of those issues. And then the multiplayer and blackout modes were not affected by the crashes compared to the zombies mode. So with Jason, and in terms of zombies, the studio launched Call of Duty Black Ops 4 with the most content like we talked about, something that the team hasn't done before. The game's zombies mode was met with negative response because zombies fans weren't even able to complete the Easter eggs for weeks, and Treyarch has released 3 of the 4 total DLC maps for the title thus far, with the first 2 continuing the new Chaos story, and now the last 2 wrapping up the Aether story in Zombies. So Black Ops 4 Zombies is still missing the promised feature of factions, which was announced for the game back in May 2018, over a freaking year ago, at the game's reveal event. And there's still no indication as to when this feature will arrive. I mean, shit, it's almost the end of July. We're coming into August to September, and then our next game is releasing October. And Craig Houston, the writer of Zombies, has been showcasing himself as the prominent Zombies team member as part of the studio live streams the past few months. And Jason Blundell has been absent in the public eye. But according to Activision, they're denying reports that Jason Blundell has been fired or if he is even still the co-studio head. Some information might have changed as of this video being uploaded, so if you guys know anything I don't, leave some comments. If you guys know anything about this new update or any questions you have about the next one on Tuesday, drop them down below, guys. It's been fun. Like I said, leave that like, leave that subscribe, ring that bell, leave a comment, let me know what I did wrong. You guys always do. It's your boy Carbon. Ha, peace.
We show up in the party, fire than everybody. We show up in the party, fire than everybody.
We show up in the party,